EU blames China, but who's really arming Russia? Are Western tech giants secretly fueling Russia's war?
Welcome to TFI Global, the antidote to mass delusion.
The blame game is in full swing as the EU raises a finger at Chinese suppliers, accusing them of fueling Russia's war efforts. At its summit this week, the European Union is threatening to name and shame more than a dozen Chinese companies that, it claims, are supplying critical technology to equip Russia's war machine. But here's the twist. It's not just China in the spotlight. Western companies are the silent stars providing the crucial components powering Russia's arsenal. The West is playing a starring role in keeping Putin's war machine oiled and humming. Forget tanks and bombers. The real heroes of this twisted drama are tiny chips and transistors, courtesy of some of the biggest tech names you know. Intel, the Silicon Sultan, takes the top prize for its contribution to Russia's arsenal of death. Their microprocessors, the brains behind the Caliber missiles that terrorize Ukrainian cities, are as ubiquitous as Starbucks in a college town. And don't forget about the supporting cast: AMD, Texas Instruments, and IBM, all American tech titans, gleefully peddling their wares to the Kremlin's dark marketplace. Wireless and satellite navigation systems and other critical parts subject to sanctions have recovered to near pre-war levels, with a monthly run rate of $900 million in the first 9 months of this year, according to a forthcoming report from the Kiev Schools Analytical Center, the KSE Institute. All of this indicates that while Western sanctions imposed over Russia's full-scale invasion on February 24, 2022 had a temporary impact, Moscow and its helpers have largely succeeded in reconfiguring supply chains with the help of China, Hong Kong, and countries in Russia's backyard like Kazakhstan and NATO member Turkey. But it's not just about hardware. Western companies are also masters of the dual-use game, supplying technology that can be weaponized with a little tinkering. Take Garmin GPS devices, for instance. Originally meant to help you find the perfect latte in Milan, they've become invaluable tools for Russian artillery crews targeting Ukrainian villages. And let's not forget the humble satellite phone, a lifesaver for adventures in the Himalayas, but also a lifeline for Russian troops operating beyond the reach of cell towers. The West's hypocrisy is as thick as the smoke rising from bombed-out buildings in Ukraine. They wag their fingers at China while turning a blind eye to their own complicity. It's like chastising a child for stealing cookies while stuffing your pockets with a whole bakery. The sanctions game is a joke. A leaky sieve with more holes than a Swiss cheese factory. It allows critical components to flow freely into Russia through back channels and shady deals. China, Hong Kong, and even NATO member Turkey are happy to play middlemen, profiting from the blood spilled on Ukrainian soil. The solution? Accountability, transparency, and a whole lot of uncomfortable conversations with our tech giants. We need to hold them accountable for their product's final destination. Track and trace. Follow those chips like breadcrumbs to the war machine's belly. This isn't just about winning a war, it's about upholding your values. The West can't preach peace while supplying the weapons for war. While we do not always know, nor can we control what products our customers create or the applications end users may develop, Intel does not support or tolerate our products being used to violate human rights, the company said in a statement. Seriously, you can't condemn human rights abuses while profiting from them. It's time for the West to take a long, hard look in the silicon mirror and ask themselves, are we the heroes of this story, or are we just unwittingly fueling the flames of a modern-day tragedy? Remember, the world is watching and the chips are falling.